Very good evening, friends. Dear members, I welcome you all on behalf of BSc Brokers Forum. This time BSc Brokers Forum has organized a seminar on the theme that is burning issues of broking industry, where we have tried to combine compliance also and business development also, because normally these two go loggerheads with each other. So today we will be having first a presentation from the compliance team, then a presentation from the BDM team, and then a joint Q&A session where you can solve all your queries with them. So I would request Hitasha from the compliance department, Priya, and Mr. Pratap from the BDM to please come on the dais and then accordingly share their presentation with the audience.
Department. Basically, now we will be talking about the recent compliance notices issued by SEBI and BSE. Recently, we have made the change that UCC modification reasons, which you need to update in PFS, that can be done by next day 12 o'clock noon. Earlier that used to be done on the same day. Now we have extended that, so if there is any UCC modification, that you can do by the next day 12 noon. You have to specify the reason, like you can get the drop down and you can select what is the reason you have done the modification, punching error and all that. Then upload of PAN in UCC system of exchange. You can get the blank PANs from the UCC system itself. Under the UCC screen you will find one button, download blank PAN. The moment you click on that button, you have the file with the UCC and the PAN is blank. So on that you can just mention the PAN and upload the file, and your UCCs are now with the PAN. Then you can trade for those UCCs. Now, till recently, for trading in currency derivative segment, equity derivative segment, you needed the separate certification. Series 1 was required for currency derivatives, Series 4 was required for interest rate derivatives, and Series 8 was required for equity derivatives segment. Now SEBI has come out with a single certification, Series 13. Once your dealers are passing this examination, so they can deal for equity derivatives, IRF and the currency derivatives. The single Series 13 certification will qualify for any derivative product. Similarly for Series 7A, earlier the scope was used almost all your personnel dealing with operations, investor complaints, sales, dealing with the assets of the investors. All these 4 categories were supposed to have Series 8 certification. That's why most of the staff brokers inspection report carried this observation that the required number of personnel was not carrying this certification. The thing was represented to SEBI by the brokers, and SEBI has come out with some diluted circular, we can say. Now only the supervisor can have Series 8, and all the basic level activities carried out by the personnel can report to the supervisor, and that agreed member should take the written consent from the client till as long as those agreed terms are implemented, there is no problem. You can go ahead with the prepaid brokerage schemes. Recently, PMLA guidelines have also required that the member should have the designate director. Earlier, the requirement was only principal officer. Now, even the designate director has to be there. The whole-time director or MD is still more preferred. If MD not, at least the whole-time director can be designated as the director. And in BFS, you will find collection of documents on button is there, where you can upload the documents regarding principal officer or designate director. And recently, we have asked for the persons who are authorized to sign the contract notes. That also you can upload. And for the pro trading also you can submit the intimation you are given to the exchange, that also you can upload. So we can take from there, and while at the time of inspection you only need to confirm that and you will not give the fresh details. Friends, you are aware of the periodic submission. We will just repeat. Internal audit report you have to submit every 6 months. System audit report you have to submit yearly or half yearly, depending whether you have the IMS or you are the Algo user. Quarterly compliance certificate has to be given every quarter, giving whether you have specified the limits, user wise, terminal wise. I already talked about the collection of documents. We have introduced one more option for uploading the board resolution and the pro trading. Recently, SEBI required that all the branches and all the offices of the authorized persons and sub-brokers, they should contain the notice board where the member has to put in the email ID and contact number of the person who can be reached in the event of any investor complaint. And apart from that, the contact person of the exchange also has to be mentioned. In case of any investor grievance, the investor can reach out those contact numbers. One more thing was there regarding the physically handicapped persons. If somebody approaches you, you can take them off. You have to take due diligence that somebody is there to operate on behalf of them. I would also like to say one more thing regarding the UCC batch upload. We have recently issued the notice regarding the new batch upload file via the POA details, whether the POA has been taken by the stockbroker for securities or for the funds, and the date of POA. For all that, we have given the new batch upload, which will be effective from 30th July, and accordingly this has been extended, and you can fill up the POA details. So these are the short compliances. Any query on that? Yeah. UCC upload details. UCC upload details file format we have already given by our notice issued yesterday.
Sorry? The same file format we should use. And one more thing I am wanting to notice you people, BSc UCC manual user is not updated, which is uploaded on the website, UCC website.
Yeah, what happened in between? We have issued the master circular, so which contain all that. So simultaneously, I will update the inspection manual. That will carry on.
Because day by day you are giving circulars and manual is not updated. UCC file format and all?
I think it's updated
No.
till the last updation.
No.
The recent updation has not been made.
Even
As per
past.
the new file format, it has not been made. Because once it becomes live, then only we will make that changes.
No, where is your client categories and all? It is not.
Client categories. The client categories are mentioned in the batch upload file format only.
In
Towards
manual,
the end. Towards the
in
end.
manual it is not there.
The manual.
Yeah.
Because that is already mentioned in the batch upload file
It should
format.
be according to whenever you give a circular, it should be parallel changes has to be happened with the manual also. No?
Okay, we'll update the categories on the WebEx also.
And not only categories, other details also you need to update.
Actually, that is the user manual which is given there
Yes.
in WebEx.
Yes, I am
Ki
talking
how
about
to
that.
upload and how to go about it. Rest all details are in the notice itself.
No, it should be matched with the notice as well as manual.
So only categories are to be updated.
People should not search your all notices and then go further, and it should not happen like this. So,
Just check on that.
and one more question. Client modification, whenever client modification in the UCC file, modification upload, the file format itself is very, it is not user friendly.
Which file format?
See, it's like client, I want to change email IDs for 15 to 100 clients. In bulk file I want to upload. But for that, I have to fetch all details from UCC and upload that changes, what changes I have to do, that changes I have to do, and re-upload that file. So in this matter, sometimes it got rejected because of other details I have not uploaded. Like एड्रेस में पिन कोड नहीं है, सॉरी स्टेटस कुछ अलग डाला है या फिर ऐसे कुछ है, तो फॉर दैट रीजन इट गॉट रिजेक्टेड. सो वो मैनुअल करते करते नाक में दम आ जाता है.
But for email updation, there is a file format. Only client code, mail, email ID and mobile number. We have issued a notice for updation of email. Only client code, email ID and mobile number.
सिमिलर फॉर अदर फील्ड्स के लिए नहीं है ना वो.
कौन सा फील्ड्स आपको अपडेट करने के लिए?
जैसे-
हर एक फील्ड्स के लिए छोटा फाइल नहीं बन सकता ना.
नहीं, पर वो सब डिटेल्स भी नहीं हो चेंज हो सकता ना इन दिस मैटर.
No, the fields are freezed. The mandatory fields whichever are there, the name, status, category and type, that once you upload it gets freezed. Because we can't allow you to change every time.
I'm not talking about PAN or this one name and all, but DP change हुआ है, CP कोड डाला है, POA डाला है.
That
तो
can be changed anytime.
नहीं, चेंज तो करता है, पर वो होने के लिए आपका कुछ अराउंड 62 या 80 फील्ड्स है, राइट? तो वो ऑल फील्ड्स आई हैव टू पुट, तो वो डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. तो जैसे कि आपने बोला कि पैन जिसमें ईमेल आईडी और मोबाइल नंबर अपलोड करें, ऐसा कुछ इजी मेथड हो तो बेटर रहेगा सबके लिए. आपको जो फील्ड डालना है वहाँ पे आपको कॉलम में हेडिंग दीजिए, फिर
How must you must be downloading the details and then you must be making the changes wherever are required and you must be uploading.
पर वो अपलोड करने समय रिजेक्ट हो जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ सम डिटेल्स आई हैव टू पुट.
Anyway, when you are downloading whatever you have input for certain
वो तो
plans,
डाउनलोड में तो फुल फाइल आ जाएगा.
same file I think you can upload after making the changes.
हाँ, पर उसमें
But you means you are
हाँ.
changing certain things which you should not change.
हाँ.
Is it like that?
because they are not active with us. तो in this matter मैं all client के details, जैसे कि डायरेक्टर डिटेल्स, उनका पैन एंड ऑल, वो मुझे मिलने वाला भी नहीं है. तो ये डिफिकल्टी हो जाती है मुझे वो चेंज करते समय. मैं कहाँ से लाऊँ?
Inactive clients you can't do anything. Inactive.
नहीं मैडम, मैं खुद अभी मेरा एक्सरसाइज करने के लिए मैंने मेरे बंदे को बोल दिया है.
Have you marked it inactive or is it still active in UCC?
मैं इनएक्टिव करने जाती हूँ तो वो मुझे पूछता है कि आपका सिस्टम मुझे पूछता है कि ये डिटेल्स आपने नहीं भरे हैं.
For marking clients inactive, we
Exactly.
have not made mandatory. If it is active, then it will ask you the mandatory details. If it is inactive, the system will not ask you any of the mandatory details.
नहीं, मुझे एक्टिव का इनएक्टिव करना है.
So you can make it any time.
और नहीं, वो अलाउ नहीं करता है ना मैम.
But we
यूजर
have,
लेवल पे जब वो चेंज करने जाएगा कोई बंदा, तो वो ये डिटेल्स आपका फिलअप नहीं है तो वो आप फिलअप कर दो. तो वो तो बंदा मेरे पास ट्रेड ही नहीं करता है.
हाँ, तो इसके I think there is a doubt. Inactive clients के लिए हमने वो provision किया है. We have issued a notice also regarding this. Inactive clients, you can make any client inactive without updating the mandatory fields. If you want, I'll check the notice and let you know.
रिगार्डिंग दैट मैंने एक मेल भी भेजा है आप लोगों को, तो उसमें मुझे सेटिस्फैक्ट्री आंसर नहीं मिला है.
किसको भेजा है?
आपको भी सीसी रखा है प्रिया, राइट?
हाँ.
प्रिया एंड चिराग उदानी.
Which mail ID? From which mail ID?
मैं बताती हूँ आपको.
You can mark the mails to bsc.inspection
फाइन
for any queries.
फाइन, थैंक यू.
Can we change any details in the PAN if there is any mistake?
PAN number cannot be changed.
Ma'am, NSE allows you. NSE allows you to change it.
There is a mechanism at NSE to change after they verify, then they allow you. But you tell me all the queries are on PAN number. So if tomorrow the income tax department asks us for this PAN number, what are the
I
trace?
can give you one example. In the case of one HUF client, we have wrongly put the PAN number of the Karta, and the exchange accepted it because there is a system. If there is a HUF, then the H comes in between the them, and exchange में भी चल रहा है इतने सालों से, exchange में भी आपका कोई query नहीं है.
No, PAN gets matched now. Okay.
How can the PAN get matched, ma'am?
PAN-
HUF, for HUF there is a specific H digit in the PAN number.
Fourth digit, yeah. Hmm.
So if there is no H over there, how the exchange has accepted it?
No. What exchange will do? Exchange will match the PAN number with the name as per the income tax site. Now, if the income tax department has given you one PAN number which actually should not be, so that exchange cannot challenge. That is not within the purview of the exchange. What exchange does, it does the PAN verification vis-a-vis the income tax site.
There could be an error in your program also that what is checking, because in case of the person, instead of the name, we have put the PAN number of the Karta over there instead of the PAN number of the HUF. So there is, okay, obviously there is a mistake on our part.
Huh.
But their exchange should have given us a mismatch report. It has not given
No.
date right now since last 10 years.
Whether the PAN number and the PAN name is matching as per the PAN card, is that matching? Yes or no?
It is not an HUF, it is from the Karta. What I am telling you, we have put the PAN number of the Karta in UCC instead of the HUF.
So you have to put the PAN number also of the person for whom you are creating the UCC. If income tax department has issued the PAN number in the name of Karta for HUF, so that exchange will not change. But once you are putting the...
What we request you is, see, the UCCs are going on since the client codes we have issued are for the years. Just
Okay.
give some modification of the PAN number, because NSE is allowing, so CP is allowing
We
definitely.
are actually checking the feasibility of that, and we will also try to put up the system where the checks and balances are also there, and the PAN modification to some extent is allowed. That will, the exercise is still, is in process.
Thank
So
you.
we are thinking about that.
regarding the individual submissions. After the financial result year is over, as per the company, you have a 6-month time. Income tax also up to August you can file the return. You want by June 30th unaudited net worth certificate. What is the logic behind that? And we will be giving the audited by August. So why you want in June the unaudited again?
I think for audited finances we are getting by September or October, not the May.
No, you have given the notice to give the unaudited net worth certificate by 30th of June.
Unaudited is okay.
Why you want that?
Why you need it unaudited? You have to do the same thing again and again.
Why you want to overlap the...
You know the CASA and unicorn cases, okay? So on that, our work has been multiplied. SEBI is also on the job. They want to check the net worth compliance. They don't want to wait for 6 months, 7 months. In the coming future, we may have the more policies and all that circulars. So unaudited can be given anytime. Anyway, you are giving for September. So
How much difference will be allowed by your side, from your side? Suppose there is, if any NPS is missing in right now, and we have
unaudited and audited is not matchable.
not.
It is not reconciled. Unaudited and audited is not reconciled.
Agree, but if the companies who are listed in the stock exchange, there should not be a variation of 10% or 15%. How much variation you will allow? Suppose
That is what I am saying for stock brokers. It is not reconciled. Unaudited and audited is not reconciled.
Madam, will you check up whether the same notice has been issued even by the NSE? Please check up. It is not there. Will you please check up that again? It is not there by NSE. It is only by the BSE circulars. And I think there is no such instruction of the SEBI. Please verify the same. And please communicate to the
See, this is the membership compliance requirement. You will get it checked from them.
Please.
Okay.
But why you are increasing the costing of the broker? Because chartered accountants are asking for the charges, and unnecessarily for 3 months. How can it is possible to give you the unaudited net worth certificate?
See, net worth we will get back because as per our knowledge, this is required as per the SEBI requirement. And it is across all the exchanges it is same.
No, always you can argue with the SEBI people also. It's not like that. Unnecessarily, every brokers have been arrested.
Next, SEBI will say in 2 months is too huge. So
For 2 or 3 members.
they will say that, you have the, I won't say for everybody, but CASA and unicorn cases are there. So SEBI has its own reasons.
But there is no logic actually. No logic.
No, you will say no logic. You will say, okay, this side, that side also. SEBI say you will have to do. You have the cases like CASA and unicorn.
If there is any complaint or check bounce matter, something you can demand the net worth certificate. Why from all
Because
the
there is
brokers?
something ongoing. Okay, so September is unaudited ending. March also, if SEBI doesn't want to wait till October, then it can always ask for the unaudited. They can ask quarterly also, but they are saying half-yearly unaudited.
Madam, I think the meeting is for the compliance and the membership business development. So there is one more question. We broker are doing the turnover with the exchange. And we are asking at the end of the year, the turnover certificate, what is the amount of turnover. For this also, the exchange wants to charge 1,000 rupees. Is it justified?
No, NSE must also be charging.
NSE gives the first certificate free of cost. BSE, as a super profit-making institute, they want to charge even for the first certificate.
First certificate when the member is new.
They don't charge for the first certificate. Why you want to charge? We are only asking what is our turnover, and that's only once a year. That also the stock exchange has to
There
charge.
will be many things where BSE is not charging. NSE is charging, I am aware of.
Further, not to compare with the other exchange, that at least BSE should consider not to charge for these kind of things to the member. Secondly, the brokers who are doing the institutional business, they want to have the periodical status reports. Okay, every 3 months, 6 months, they have to get the status. For that, you are charging 1,000 rupees. So yearly, I have to pay 4,000 rupees only to get the status report. The status report increase the business of the exchange. So will you be appreciated to look to the business or the charges of this nature? Check up this with the concerned department, whatever you can verify. Thank you.
I have got few queries. Generally, I can talk about. Is system audit applicable to those who are using only Bolt? No, we have issued the circular also. The people who are using only Bolt, the system audit is not required. Initially, SEBI had required the system audit for all people who are using Bolt. For them, once in 2 years was mandatory. It was represented to SEBI on the basis of the request from the members, and SEBI has agreed that who are using the Bolt plus, the system audit is not required, and accordingly we have issued the circular that it is not required. FOW also we are not required. You can see in the system, whoever is using FOW, if they log in into BFS and go to the system audit, preliminary audit, it will show that it is not applicable to them. Not applicable. There are specific queries. I think I will deal with those queries with specific people only. I think it is not applicable general. Any general query?
Excuse me, yeah. Ma'am, yeah, if I am using ECN through the BSc web system, the format is still as per the old one, it's not been updated.
Actually, ECN is free of cost, and it is the compliance actually the members have to do. So, actually, it is under the process to review whether the BSc should provide this facility or not. So, this is something, it is under the process of decision. But by then, it is the responsibility of the members, it is not the responsibility of the exchange to give the ECN to the clients.
Right, but if the format which has been uploaded, we are doing it as the normal, whatever is required by the website. But if that website is giving a result, output of the old format, how will we manage that?
That is what I said, that whether this free of cost service is to be given or not, it is still under the process of decision making, because it is the primary responsibility of the member to give ECN to the clients and not of the ECN. So that's why this format is taking time. Once decision is taken, yeah, it has to be done because it involves cost also. So BSc, whether BSc would like to continue the service which is incurring, for which the exchange will be incurring some cost, and it will not be charging anything from the brokers. So it is like that.
So, but till then,
And very few members are using that, and it will be, I think, easier from your back office to create the ECNs. It won't be a much difficult thing. So,
till the time the format changes, how do you go about it? Just stick to how it is being continued because it's the old format. So it should not come back to us saying, oh,
Exactly.
we did not do it in the
exactly. Basically, I think if members are from their back office, if they are having the way other 95% brokers are doing, that should be better for the members.
No, I didn't get you.
95% of the members are issuing the ECN through their back office. They are not depending on the website of exchange.
Right, but if you used it,
But yeah, because the reason is that it is free of cost to the members. Exchange is not charging, and exchange will have to incur the cost now because of some certain renewal of the certificates and all that. So it is a decision is yet to exchange has to get. Right now, I cannot say it will not be provided or it will be provided and how soon it will be provided. But I would just like to say that it is a compliance requirement from the members. If in future say exchange decides not to provide, it will be the responsibility of the broker, And already more than 95% brokers are doing from their back office.
Right, what I'm asking is, till the time the exchange decides, can we still continue the way it is going, or do you need to do something extra?
I would suggest you write an email on bsc.examination. We'll get it, consent from our seniors and we'll reply. Or at least we'll get back.
Penalty can be levied on against the member. Suppose.
No, I think we have to get back on that.
No, but not for BSc audit. SEBI audit, penalty can be levied to the member.
SEBI can emphasize on that.
So you are in a suit.
The rate of the network provided network circular number of leads.
Network certificate.
NSA had issued a quarterly certificate unaudited 30th June.
Quarterly certificate.
No, sorry, yearly unaudited. So, when is IC?
Network certificate is half yearly.
Yeah, but when NSA had issued the circular.
I need to go back to membership compliance, and you can always write an email to membership compliance.
I have a suggestion pertaining to UCC. See, over a period of time, we understand that based on SEBI requirements, BSE has added several fields to the UCC. But what is happening is, in order to incorporate the changes, we are incurring several huge system development costs. The UCC file structure is different across NSE and BSE. Now, if you see the POA requirement itself, like in POA, BSE is asking for additional details which NSE has not asked. Of course, we will incorporate all these requirements, but the thing is, over a period of time, we are incurring significant costs in testing and developing the software to make it in sync with the BSE requirements. So, can it be done that these fields can be made optional to a certain extent, or can you take this up with SEBI? Because why I'm asking is, during inspection, investigation, anyway, we provide you the account opening form or the soft copy of the account opening form. So, it has all the relevant details. But if you ask to add the details in UCC for all the clients, it will be tedious job, and especially for those clients making it such a retrospective for all the existing clients, it will be difficult for us to incorporate those fields and then again upload to BSE. So if you can take up this with SEBI, that the changes which are done in UCC should be kept minimal, or if the changes are being done, it will be made optional. If you can just take up this aspect with SEBI, it will
No,
be
making the changes optional is as good as not making any changes.
Agreed.
The moment it is the field is optional, nobody will fill up. So we cannot say that it should be made optional, but yeah, the changes should be pure. It involves the caste. We have represented to SEBI also on POA.
Exactly.
But finally came that no, it is for the benefit of the members, and in case of CASA and on again, I'm sorry to repeat, certain things have been misutilized and all that. So
but if you see the file structure, there have been so many fields added lately that it is very difficult to do the system changes, and after system changes are done, take these fields and incorporate it for existing lands. Even that is another tedious job. You have to again go back to the client, or like say you will pull out the KYC and check. Because what will happen ultimately, I will tell you, if you make the fields
I
mandatory.
remember POA is for prospective clients.
So you need to say, if I have existing lands, so give me POA, I need not fill up the details.
See, if you fill up, it is well and good, but it is mandatory for the prospective clients.
So for my existing lands, as on date, the POA details are not required.
POA date.
POA details, the whole details, like whether POA has been executed, yes, no, the POA execution date, and all the other relevant fields, that is not required for existing clients.
So POA date, whatever batch upload for this thing, POA is not required for existing clients. That is for the prospective clients.
This one prospective clients only. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Star mutual fund is not the criteria. Star mutual fund has got the separate these things. The system audit is only required if you are using IML or you are using the LO. If these two conditions are not met, you are not required to do the system audit.
Ma'am, excuse me. Ma'am, there are some of the clients whose KRA is not done. They are not active since last years. But there are shares lying in their account and they have not paid the DP charges. Can we give them the notice and sell their shares without KRA?
KRA is not done.
KRA is not done because they are not active with us, and KRA is not done in the system also. So can we sell their shares because shares are lying in the DP account, and they have not paid any charges for since years, 7, 8, 10 years. So can we sell their shares to recover our debit amount without any KRA?
You are saying they are not your clients.
They are our clients. Previously they used to trade through us, but they are not active right now.
They are not active now. There are certain you are not done KYC.
KRA.
No, KRA is different. KYC, have you done KYC?
They are post 2005 and KYC would have been done. Before that KYC was not possible.
Oh, so you have the KYC.
We may or may not be having a KYC.
So you are talking about the clients for which you have not done the KYC.
Yeah, could be.
So you have the clients for whom you have not done KYC and you have got the shares.
Yes.
And you are not able to contact them.
We are able to contact them, but they are not ready to make the payment because the shares are having a very bigger value. I might be having a debit of 10,000 rupees and the shares value might be 3,000 rupees, so they are not interested to do it.
See, a member can always recover the dues of the client. That option has been given to the.
But if I sell the shares, tomorrow the exchange will come and ask for the KYC and KRA, what should I do? Can I show them the notice which I sent to the client and that will suffice the purpose?
That will be suffice, plus you should be able to prove that the client has the debit balance. You should be able to prove that the client has the debit balance.
The accounts will show, that is not an issue.
Okay, then suppose if the debit balance is 10,000, you have sold the shares and you have got 20,000, you are supposed to keep 10,000, 10,000 should go back to the client.
Can we charge the interest for that for the last few years what he has not paid?
Delayed payment charges.
Yes.
How client is responsible if you are keeping the securities? You are not.
No, we are not keeping securities in our beneficiary account.
It's in demat account.
In our DP account.
How can you touch then his account if are you a DP?
Yeah.
Has he given POA?
Huh?
Has he given POA?
Yes, absolutely. POA is there. DP accounts, I am a DP account is opened with me, demat account is opened with my DP. Whatever the debits are there comes in the normal client account only. So charges can I sell? For DP charges, recurring the DP charges and everything, can I sell the shares?
I think since the shares were already lying with you and you have not sold that, you should not charge the delayed payment charges. This what you are doing now, you would have done earlier also.
In many cases, it could have been done, ma'am. Since last 5-6 years, the shares would have been traded also. There won't be any trading in the shares also. We must have started just now only. Started to give us some quotes, 2 rupees, 3 rupees could be. So what should be done? We are not in position to sell the shares because they are not traded at all.
Correct, whatever. So he is not traded, he has got the debit balance in the account, right?
Yes.
You had the shares earlier also, now also. You are taking the decision to sell the shares now for his dues.
We will give a notice. We will give a notice to sell it. We are selling it. And if he is not complying with the notice, then only we will sell it.
Fair enough. Dues recoverable from him on transaction part, you can always take from him. But delayed payment charges is something, you have delayed what you have done could be done earlier. You could have sold the shares earlier.
When the shares are not trading at all, how can I sell the shares?
And now they are active.
Yes.
Now they are liquid.
Yes. Now some quotes are coming right. That's what I'm telling you.
Let's say if the client phone is coming unanswered and is not responding to calls and this thing, or persons even are not able to contact him, then what is the recourse?
Let me clarify him. I will still suggest don't charge delayed payment charges. That is what I will advise. Yeah. Yes. The client is not traceable and his securities are lying in your
Exactly.
client penny account.
No, actually, there is a call from RMS for margin shortfall, and we want to approach the client, but he's not traceable. Means he's not approachable. He's not picking up calls and
Cash segment or equity derivatives?
equity derivatives.
Equity derivatives, margins are collected daily basis, so it is a recent case.
So is there should be any kind of format which an undertaking in such kind of cases, we should obtain one kind of undertaking from the clients, and if this margin comes below that particular limit, the shortfall is there, is pertaining to some kind of limit, then we can take the prior undertaking actions, can prescribe such kind of format, so that in these kind of cases when the client is not contactable, so we can enforce that undertaking and sell his shares. So is there any kind of this kind of mechanism can be invoked? So what is the exchange view on this?
No, I want to understand, is it the old client? Because
Old client, old regularly trading.
when the equity derivatives was there, then also at that time,
Yeah.
I remember it is started since 2009, and so at that time also you had not done the KYC and you don't have the contact number.
No, we have the contact number, but he's not picking up the call, he's not responding to our emails, and even he's not contactable at particular point of time. This is our
So
query.
he is not meeting the daily margin requirements of equity
Exactly.
derivatives segment.
Yeah. So what is to be done in such cases? Because what happens usually if we, without his permission, we suppose there is margin shortfall and if he sell off his share, he usually approaches IGRP and arbitration mechanism. So at that time it's very difficult to defend because he is not given his consent. So there should be some kind of mechanism where
Exchange rules give you the authority the moment, in equity derivatives the margin calls are daily. So if it is a margin shortfall, he is liable to you. For those liability, you can sell his scripts.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Ma'am, can you tell us about that plan PAN file? What is that?
See in your UCC screen, you have one button download PAN. Once you click that, you will get the UCCs and the PAN column will be blank. Once you put in the PAN in that and upload, it will be as good as you have registered the PAN in UCC. Again,
That means I have to put all the details without PAN and then day after tomorrow or that.
You have to put the PAN numbers and upload. You will get the file where UCC number will be there.
Which is already registered with you and PAN
Correct.
is not uploaded.
Correct.
Older, old existing clients.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it is not, that client is not active since 10 years, then?
If it is not active and you don't want to make active in future also, you can ignore it.
Then
Ignore it. Maybe in future we may take a call to delete all those UCCs without PAN.
And regarding FPI categories, FPI I saw dummy UCC web link and I found 9 categories for FPI. So can you just light on that 9
Individual,
categories?
non-individual and institutional.
That is actually 3 categories. which
Under
was-
individual, there is category 1, 2, 3. Category 1, 2, 3 have been prescribed by FPI guidelines.
But sorry, there I have a query. Why one person, as a one individual person, how can you consider in 3 categories?
Yeah, because if you have gone through the circular, category 1 is basically the government organization where the KYC part will be minimum.
You mean to say one individual can be government, can be
Yeah,
individual,
certain things are decided and ordered by in the name of President of India. So in that case, President of India is individual.
I didn't understand.
Next, certain things, suppose follow-on offer or some offer for sale on PSU scripts. Suppose those has to be done by the President of India. I'm giving you example. Then President of India is individual. So these are the all maximum category. You need not put in whatever is applicable to you, you can put in. As rightly suggested by somebody that we cannot make the system changes every now and then. So we have to think for many.
And yes, 20th June's SEBI circular on foreign venture capital investor. Can you just?
Foreign venture capital, actually, SEBI FPI guidelines were silent on whether foreign venture capital can become an FPI. So they have clarified that yes, he can become. He will have to take the registration in FPI. He will have to follow the investment provisions for foreign venture capital as per those guidelines, and he will have to follow the provisions regarding to FPI as per the FPI guidelines.
And what about KYC for if
KYC need not be done again.
Sorry?
KYC need not be done again, but UCC upload will have to be done again. On specific queries where that can be taken separately. Position and delivery level, whoever has this query can meet separately.
Thank you, Itasha ma'am, for giving us this time and solving the query of the members. Now I will request Mr. Pratap to come and share his presentation.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Pratap Chandiramani from BSc product side on the currency derivatives. I'll be speaking more on the currency derivatives, how currency derivatives comparatively in India compared to the global markets, what is the product in India, and how BSc is doing in last 1.5 years in the market, how is the growth and development on this product. So if I talk about currency derivatives market globally, it's a 24/7 market. If I say 24/7, means it's traded globally at any part of the world. Any time it's traded. Like if I talk about started from say Tokyo from the east side and then Amsterdam in the west side. So throughout the time it is traded around the world. It is one of the most liquid and largest market in the world as far as turnover is concerned. Around $5.3 trillion traded on a daily basis. This is the BIC survey of 2015. So if I consider in 2013, so if I consider in 2015, it would have crossed $6.5 trillion per day. Apart from equities and commodities, there are a number of factors which affects the currency markets. We will talk about it later, what are the factors affecting these markets. Major currency globally traded are euro, dollar, yen and pound. We call them as the majors and they are traded globally. The major share, around more than 85% turnover happens in these four currencies only. And the participants are banks, corporates and institutions. Even individual traders participate in these markets. And major trading hubs as far as global markets are concerned, around 40% of the turnover happens in London because it has the advantage of time. It is connected to major parts of the world as far as currency trading is concerned. Then New York, Tokyo and in Asia it's Singapore market. Why I am talking about this market globally? Because we need to compare how this market is doing in India compared to the global markets. Exchange traded currency market started in CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and the daily average volume is around $150 billion, which is 3 times more than our Indian forex market. We are doing around $50 to $55 billion per day as far as forex market is concerned. I'm not talking about the exchange traded market, but in India, we are around 40th largest market, 20th largest market. The rank is 20th. So if I compare with the volume of Indian market with the global market, we are hardly 1%. So around $5.3 trillion traded daily, and we are doing around $50 billion. So only 1% we are doing on a daily basis. But when I compare the exchange traded market globally vis-a-vis the OTC market, we are far ahead. As an exchange traded market, we are doing $5 to $6 billion per day, which is around 10% of our forex market volume. If I compare this with the global markets, global exchange traded market is hardly 3 to 4% of the OTC market. So in after 2008, say around 7 years, compared to the global standard, we are far ahead as far as currency derivatives are concerned. If I say the structure of currency market, we have OTC market and exchange traded market. OTC market around $50 billion per day, exchange traded around 5 to 6 billion. The participants in OTC markets are bank and corporates. Individuals are not allowed to actually trade in the OTC market. SEBI and RBI came together in 2008 and allowed exchanges to float this market. And here, apart from NRIs, everybody is allowed to participate. Even recently, FPI also have been allowed to participate in this market. So in exchange traded market, we have BSE, NSE and MCX stock exchange. As I said, we started in 2008. This market started in 2008, and if you see the growth of this market, initially around 1200 crores was the volume in 2008. Subsequently in 2009, 9000 crores. 2010, regulators allowed 3 more pairs. Initially only USD INR was allowed to trade. Later on, Euro, Yen and Pound were also allowed to trade. And in 2011-12, they allowed options on USD INR, not on the other pair, only on USD INR. So in 2011-12, it was the biggest market as far as volume were concerned, around 8 to 9 billion were traded. But in 2012-13, due to depreciation of the rupee, regulators put restriction on the OI and restricted banks to trade on proprietary trades. So the volume went down. Lately in 2014, regulators allowed to trade for the proprietary position of banks, and they have removed some of the restriction on OI. Still there are some restriction on the corporates and FPI side on the OI position, which we will talk about later. So as of now, we are doing around 31,000 crores on a daily basis, that I am talking about the market share. You can see the market growing. Around $5 to $6 billion we are doing on a daily basis. The market structure is same as the equity derivatives. There is as such no change in the market structure. You need to do the KYC of the client, and that can be, you need to take a margin. That margin can be in the form of cash, can be in the form of bank guarantees, fixed deposit and collaterals. The margin is around 3 to 4%, which is comparatively less to the equities market. And here the participants are majorly hedgers, retail participants, corporates, proprietary traders, retail traders, banks and FPIs. So FPIs have lately started participating in this market. Unlike equities and commodities, here a pair is traded. If I'll say a pair, like any of the currency has to be part with some other currency. Like only dollar cannot be traded singly, so it has to be with rupee dollar or rupee euro or something like that. So the codes are like $1 per rupee. It's in the terms of rupee only. The quotation and the tick size is quarter paisa. So the contract size is around $1,000, which we'll talk about later. Trading timings 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Contract size is $1,000. price quotation INR per USD, like $1 is equal to 62.0025 and 62.0050. So tick size is quarter paisa. Contracts are available for 12 months. Say now the current contract is June and it's next year May contract. Till May contract is available. Monthly contracts. Settlement is cash. There is no delivery of dollars. It's a cash settle contract. And the expiry is last 2 days prior to the last working day. Say last working day of the month is 30th, so expiry will be on 28th. That will be on RBI reference rate around 12:30. So the contract expires on RBI reference rate. Same is the case with other currency pair, only the difference is of margins. The margin in USD INR contract is less compared to the other contracts. More margin is on yen because it is more volatile. So span margin increases as the volatility increases. Currency contract, timing same 9 to 5. Type of the option is European call option, call and put option. Contract size is same $1,000. Tick size is quarter paisa. And strike is anytime, strike is a 12 ITM, 12 OTM and 1 ATM. Any point of time, 25 strike rates will be available. There are 3 monthly contracts and 1 quarterly contracts available at any point of time. Settlement, it's a cash settle contract. And last day, the expiry day is same as the future, last 2 days prior to the last working day. And the final settlement is on RBI reference rate. As I said, the initial margin for the contracts is around 3 to 4%, and collaterals we take and the cash, government securities, banks, guarantees, fixed deposits, even equities we take as margins. Mark to market is there on a daily basis. Final settlement is on RBI reference rate and it's a cash settle market. If I talk about the position limit, how much position a client or a corporate or a broker can take. So on the clientele side, 6% or 10 million, whichever is higher, a retail client can take. On the proprietary side of the member, he can take 15% or 50 million, whichever is higher. Say for example, as of now, BSE's OI is around say 1.3 billion contracts, 13 lakhs contracts. 1.3 billion contracts. So around, if I take a 15% of it, so a broker can take more than say 200 billion position, whichever is higher is there. Stock limits on the stock brokers and bank and non-banks, which is a retail broker on the retail side, they can take 15% or 100 million, whichever is higher. And as I said, there is a restriction. Regulators have put a restriction on the OI side for the corporates and the FEIs. They can take maximum of 15 million per exchange. So if I will talk about the 3 exchange, they can take maximum 45 million contract position. So above that, they need to produce the underlying. Till 15 million, they don't need to produce any underlying. So they can take position of maximum up to 15 million. Above that, they need to produce the underlying documents. And in other currency pair, they can take maximum of 5 million contract, $1 million, all taken together. We have seen rupee movement in last 2-3 years. Like there have been depreciation in the rupee almost more than say from 58. Last 2 years we have seen 3 years 56 to 68 rupees. As of now it's trading around 63.5. So what are the factors which are affecting this market? Unlike equities, where we see the industry growth, where we see the company growth, where we see the financials of the company, in currency market there are n number of factors. Like you need to see the macro and micro economic factors of the domestic currency as well as foreign currency. If I talk about USD/INR, you need to take care of the fundamental factors in India. What are the factors affecting this economy, and the factors affecting the economy of US. So these are the major factors which mainly affect the currency movement. Global and domestic economic indicators, economic and political scenarios, fundamental factors like GDP and other factors. So in all, if I talk about on the daily basis, movement in Euro USD and the equity market plays a very important role in the movement of USD INR. Strategies normally same as compared to the equities. We have hedging, which is mainly used by the corporates. If a corporate is an exporter, it's very much essential for him to hedge his position on the exchange traded currency derivative. Why? Because he is an exporter. So he is concerned on the inflows of the dollar. So for example, importer done a contract now and he will be getting say $1 lakh after 3 months. Today the rupee value is 60. What if it appreciated to 58? So instead of getting 60 lakhs after 3 months, he will be getting 58 lakhs. So he is very much exposed to the currency risk. So what he does on the exchange, he sells the same quantity which he will be getting after 3 months. Same is the case with importers. He buys the same number of dollars on the exchange to manage his currency risk. Same way he can do with the options also. He can buy put option if he is an exporter, and he buy a call option if he is an importer to hedge his currency risk. If I talk about the view-based strategy, say for example, if you think that there is a Reliance has got a good contract, you normally buy Reliance, and there is any news on the Reliance, you go along on the Reliance. Same way on the currency front, you see that Euro USD or there might be a rate hike in US, and probably the dollar will appreciate, and simultaneously you see there is a fall in equity markets in India. So you see that there might be a depreciation in rupee and you go long on USD INR contract. So there are a number of news which you can see for trading on these markets. Same way we have currency spreads like calendar spreads which you have in equity derivatives. Intercurrency spread. Intercurrency spread is something like you buy euro and sell USD. Or you buy yen or sell dollar. So that is more on the fundamental basis on both the currency pairs. And again you have one more interesting spread, which is inter-market spread between the OTC market, banks market, and the exchange market, which most of the corporates and the banks are into. What they do is they take one position on the OTC market and second position simultaneously, opposite position on the exchange market and play on the spreads. So for the brokers, major target audience is the retail part and the corporate SME side, whereby they can get into the market to hedge their position and also take benefit of the spread between these two markets. What is the benefit of exchange traded market on the OTC market is the timing is 9 to 5, whereas OTC market, the forward market is from 9:30 to 4:30. So the gap up, gap down in the market, they can capitalize on the exchange traded market rather than the OTC market. Tick size on the exchange is quarter paisa compared to OTC. OTC is 1 paisa. So anytime is better than the OTC market. Price is transparent. On the exchange you can buy $1 or 1 million, price will remain same. But if you go to OTC market, it's totally depend on your business with the exchange, with the banks, your how you are dealing with the bank, whether your exposure is much or less comparatively, they price you. And if you have different bankers, they will price you differently. Speed of the execution is more on the exchange. At one click you can have your contracts traded. There is no settlement risk because it's through clearing corporation. Accessibility is anybody can access, like in OTC market, individual cannot trade, but in exchange market, any individual, apart from NRIs, anybody can trade on this market, can participate on this market. Transaction cost is very, very less compared to the OTC market. Liquidity, as I said, it's quite good. We are doing around $5 to $6 million on a daily basis. And contract size is very, very like comparative. Any individual or SME can trade on this market. One of the biggest benefit on exchange traded market vis-a-vis OTC market is the documentation and underlying. Just they, as far as the corporate client is concerned, they just need to do one-time KYC. They don't need to produce underlying document every time they trade on the exchange. Vis-a-vis on OTC market, whenever they trade, whenever book their forward contract, they need to produce underlying documents. Entry and exit is easy. Anytime you can buy, you can sell whenever you want to get out of this market. If it is not favoring you, can get out of the market. But in OTC market, you need to do cancellation, which again have some charges, and rebooking the contracts based on the underlying. Settlement here on the exchange trader, there is no delivery. It's a cash settle. And whenever you book a contract, you need to settle your contract before the expiry or on expiry. And mark to market, as you have in equity derivatives, it's on a daily basis, you have a mark to market. Talking about the Bombay Stock Exchange currency derivative started, we started in November 29, 2013. When we started, our daily average volume in the first month was around 300 crores. As of now, we are doing around 13,000 crores on a daily basis. If I talk about the market share, we are doing around 40 to 45% of the market share. You can see the growth of this, our market share. We have touched around 45% also. Last 2-3 months back, we have touched 45%, and continuously we are growing in this market. Now, the major thing which we are focusing more on is the open interest. If you see the graph, it's gradually we are growing in this segment. As I said, April was around 9 lakh contracts, but today if you see our contracts around 30.5 lakhs contracts. So around the major benefit of trading on Bombay Stock Exchange CDX segment is the costing part. So if exchange traded currency derivative exchange transaction fees on BSE is as of now is 6 rupees per crore, where vis-a-vis NSE is charging 110 rupees per crore and SX is charging around 5 rupees per crore. We have come up with the circular which state that subsequently will go up to 10 rupees per crore in October, thereby it will remain 10 rupees per crore. So which is any time comparable with the competitors' costing part. So where we are providing this benefit to the end users. Way ahead, as I said, we have only one contract, which is a $1,000 contract. Possibility there might be some other contracts come up, and there are talks about extending the market timings to 7:30 or something, which we will see soon. And position limits, which the regulators have restricted on 15 million. For corporates and FPIs, we can see there will be some easiness in the position limits for the corporates and the FPIs. That's all for me. You can ask me anything on this. Anything you can ask me on this subject.
request Arun sir to please come and give a moment on behalf of BSE Brokers Forum to the speaker. I thank the audience for the participation. Thank you very much.